everyone, my name is Taylor Nash, and today we're going to be doing a book talk on the story The Mitten by Jan Brett. She is an incredible writer and illustrator, so she illustrates and writes her own story and her own characters, and look how beautiful and lifelike they are. Each character has a different special feature about them. This book was published by New York and Putnam, and it has 32 pages, and the genre of this story is fiction slash folk tale. This is actually a Ukrainian folk tale, which is the place that our writer is originally from, and so she has a lot of background about her traditions and her culture. Just by opening the very first pages, I can always say that you can tell a lot from a book just before you even read. As soon as you open the book, there is a story, and it's introducing you to the characters. And so before I read this book, I really love to just kind of open up the floor about the setting and where it's from to help our students relate to it a little bit better. I like to show them pictures of Ukraine and to show them that it's a country in Europe and what it looks like in the wintertime with the snow. And that way they understand the feel, because maybe where we live, which is in Alabama, you don't get a lot of snow, especially this thick, but in Ukraine you might. So I think it's really important to open up to our students and show them really what our background could be like if they were in Ukraine, to give them a sense of self in the story. And so as we begin our story is about a little boy named Nicky, and his grandmother knits him a pair of white wool mittens. And his grandmother has told him, she has said, if you go out and you come back, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look to make sure you're safe and sound. And then second, I'm going to make sure that you have kept up with your pair of mittens to make sure you haven't lost any. So Nicky is like, okay, I'll take really good care of them. But surely as he comes outside, he drops his mitten, and that's where our story begins. So we're going to look at some of the pages just to get a good sense of where, look, there's our character, Nicky. Look at, I love the traditional Ukrainian dress and all the pictures, and there's his grandmother knitting, and you can see how white and beautiful the snow is. And you can see where he has left his mitten on the ground right here. And so as he goes along, this is where our story and our characters take place also. It says, as his mole's on the ground, look, a mole tired from tunneling along discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm, just the right size, so he decided to stay. So I can imagine myself as a mole in these pictures. I want to be that mole and burrow into that mitten. Look how beautiful. And one of my favorite things about Jan Brett's books, and most of her stories are like this, you can see that there's our character Nicky looking for his mitten. There's the mole who's burrowing inside in his little trail of snow. But also you can look to see right here, and we don't know, but is this rabbit gonna make the mole move? Is the rabbit gonna join the mole inside? We have to find out to see. And I just love this because of the little details in her books are just beautiful and amazing to me. And it really helps the students notice things like that. And so surely enough, we see that the rabbit has joined the mole, and then as we look over here, we can see that there's a hedgehog coming. And throughout the whole entire book, these animals have relationships, and you can see them all joined inside. And look, and there's larger animals like a badger and a fox that comes later. And so I love this story because it gives that essence of surprise. It allows students to predict, even at the small age of kindergarten. It allows them to expand their minds. For an activity, I would love to create a big mitten and laminate pictures of the animals and do a sequencing thing, like allow the students to see what character comes first. Or you can even do math with these characters, like number the characters, which comes first, what follows in line, which animal came last, because there's 8, so if you're working on the number 8 that week, it would be perfect. There's so many things that you could do with this story just to introduce students. You could use it for geography if you were talking about different countries and you wanted to expand your knowledge on Ukraine and its cultures. There is so much that you could do with this beautiful book by Jan Brett. For my differentiated kids, I would love to get an iPad or yes, a read it with a buddy. I think that the iPad would be perfect for them to read like an audiobook. They can scan along with the pictures and they can pick up on the things that are saying. They can notice what comes. So when we read it whole group, that they can follow along with them and be on the same page. So I think that that would be really good for a differentiated student. And yeah, so this is what I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed our book talk, and I can't wait to talk again soon. Have a great day!